So that'd be about 30 years later. This is World 2. All good Mario worlds begin with a nice fat sand level. Every good Mario game has. Second world, sand world. Super Mario Brothers 2 has it. Super Mario 3 has it. World does not. 64 gives you a plethora of different options, one of them being a sand level. Boy, I'm really just kind of throwing shit at the wall to see if it'll stick right now. So, Super Mario Land, you actually do the desert world first. Mario 3, which of course always happens to be my go-to default Mario game, is where I've usually based all this information off of. Because in my mind, there's no more definitive Mario game in terms of what defines a... What would you say defines what every Mario game should follow? Mario 3. Mario 3 is first world, grass world, second world, desert world, third world, whatever the hell you want it to be. Typically it's either water or forest world. I know Super Mario World doesn't really follow that, because it tended to be, instead of being worlds, they were more like one big island. Those big fat guys, if you throw them and they don't hit anything, they will produce a heart, which will allow you to refill your hearts real quick. World 4 is always World 4 isn't always an ice world, but you always have to have a good ice world in a Mario. You gotta have a good stand level. You gotta begin the game with a nice grass level, okay? And you move into sand world. You know, where there's either some combination of heat and or sand you gotta deal with, okay? Usually sinky sand, you know, where the sand is trying to pull you down and kill you. Sometimes you hide stuff down there because you're special. Sometimes you don't because you know that if you fall into a sand pit, you're gonna suffocate regardless of whether or not there's a secret 1-up mushroom down there or not. Those blocks on the bottom you see there are color-coded. So if you see a, whatever you call it, a pullable weed, stalk, whatever you want to call it, and it's on a particular color, it indicates what it's already going to be. So I'm not sure what color I just pulled just there, but that's always going to be a 1-up if it's in that location. Sort of like in some of the other locations, they produce, like on the, I think it's the far right, they produce hearts like that one I just pulled up. Far right, the far left, I believe, is a shell. I might be mixing those two up. Of course, you can pull, as you've seen already, you can pull a magic potion from some of them. Oh, remember this! Oh, Birdo, you are so dumb. So we're not going to talk about Birdo much here, other than to say that in the Japanese translation, Birdo is a straight up boy pretending to be a girl, and in America, Birdo is always a girl. Period. We're not going to get too deep into that. I know it makes some people super proud and other people super angry. I don't really care. In a lot of cases, it's based on whatever the culture is that's pulling the reference. In this case, I believe Japan sort of has one of those mixed feelings where, on the one hand, they don't seem to care, On the other hand, they're like, okay, Fruity, get the fuck out of my face. I mean, I apologize that I offended anyone, but like, they sort of have that like, okay, you do you, but don't let it seep into actual popular culture, or we'll make fun of you in a movie called Tokyo Godfather. I don't even know if Tokyo Godfather is supposed to be a what do you call it, a good or bad depiction of like a transsexual or a whatever. Hey, what's your favorite thing? Not doing that? That's my favorite thing. Yeah, I did it. I done did it. I got through the hole. Why'd you come in here, Chris? Because pretty sure there's something in here that's important. Like a one-up. Or an extra heart for me to pick up. Let's do that and see how that works. Probably right here. Ta-da! I'm so smart. Are you smart? I'm smart. I know you're smart too. But you're probably, like, not as smart as me. You know, because in addition to being super smart, I'm also super humble. You know? What us super humble smart people do. We talk about it on a episode of a Super Mario 2 Game Boy Advance playthrough that no one's gonna watch except for like 2 people. Bop bop. Got him. So if you ever find a thing, a pipe, or in this case a vase, that does not have a guy in it, sometimes it has power blocks in it. And what you do with the power block is you kind of do this. And now you got an extra life. Or 2. Isn't that sweet? However, I made a mistake there and I'm gonna die because of it. See, once you cleared out all the guys, you don't want to go back down a pipe and cause them to respawn. That's a little lesson from Uncle Chris there for you. Uncle Chris is trying to teach you important life lessons like, you go down a pipe. The guys will in fact respawn after you come out of the pipe. Sometimes that's good to reset the guys, let them go know that, hey, you're not going to put up with their bullshit. You know, I'm not going to take your you know, snuff it bullet. However, if you've done this, it cleans everybody out and gives you 3 1-ups. Maybe it's not a smart idea to go back down in the hole and respawn everybody. Eat a dick! Oh, that was dumb. I'm dead. I'm dead regardless if I don't uncrouch or if I did crouch. Dead. Either way, because I was directly in the line of fire! Fire, fire, fire. More 1-ups, thank you. Every time I die, I gain 2 lives. Not just the life I lost, but the life that I'm yet to lose. That, unfortunately, is not my favorite place to grind out 99 lives. Because you have to keep... Excuse me. You have to keep, I wouldn't say you have to keep I don't know if you have to keep dying or not to respawn the POW block. But it's, I don't know, maybe that is maybe that's one of the first areas you can really try to go get 99 lives. 99! Some games are easy to get 99 lives and you just have to know where to look for them, I guess. This game, there's plenty of areas to get 99 lives in, but they're not as gracious as one of the Super Mario 3D World games, which is like, we're not just gonna give you 999, we're not just gonna give you 99 lives, we're gonna give you 999 lives, and we're not just gonna give you 999 lives, we're gonna give you crown lives. Because we're gonna make it super easy to get crown lives. Even though that should be like considered, in my book, that should be something that you get an achievement for, you know, like an old school Xbox achievement. You know, oh, you got crown lives. You really figured out how to not only get past 99 lives, past 999 lives, but to get to over 1,000 lives, Mario lives. You get an achievement for that. Plus 20 for you. Or whatever. However they rank the achievements nowadays. I didn't kill nearly as many guys as I was hoping for. That's okay, I gotta go this way anyways. Where you get the big bomb, you give it the big bomb guy. See, it says, "Hey Christopher, would you like a one-up mushroom?" And you're all like, "Yeah, I'd love the one-up mushroom. I mean, a hard mushroom. But I ain't in this spot right now, Chris. There's your one-up though that you were talking about. Guess that do spoil him a bit. Go ahead. We'll talk about all-time favorite Family Guy line. There's a ton of them I know, depending on if you're looking at modern Family Guy or old Family Guy. But one of my favorite lines was from season 3, where they had Will Ferrell on playing the Black Knight. This was as Will Ferrell's career is taking off. This is before I believe he did any of his more famous movies. Definitely before Elf and that. And whoever was playing Cleveland, I don't know the voice actor's name. He also plays the effeminate character that you see starting in first season. He goes, and so the guy he says something in the extent like Will Ferrell's Dark Knight character goes, "What's your fat ass doing here?" You know, like implying it's Peter, but it's not. It's actually a guy riding a fat donkey. And he goes, I guess I do spoil him a bit, but he's my only means of conveyance. It's both a smart and stupid joke all in the same breath. Indeed. That's kind of what I miss about early Family Guy. There's a lot. As stupid as some of the characters were, there were a lot of smart jokes. I'm gonna back you off. I mean, something. That's how you do it. You see that? You take the big guy, you throw him, he rolls, and does 3 damage to the bread birdo, and that's a course clear for you. Plink, plink, plink. Nothing. Nothing for you, Chris. You don't get anything. Cherry, that's a wild. Alright, we done did it. Choose a player. Here I come. We're gonna go up the ladder. We're gonna do World 2-3. It's not a difficult level if I remember correctly. But yeah, if you fuck up like I do, it can be difficult. Can be challenge. At some point in the future, maybe near future, maybe distant future, and I know time's relative, so if you watch this episode tomorrow, you know, day after it comes out, versus, you know, 10 years from now, time's relevant. Okay? But, do now. Very annoying to me. Very annoying that we got to the point where it's like, do now. I know Do Noun was sort of a thing in like the 2000s as well. Like Du Hoskas, you know, or whatever. Or even in the 90s, I guess that one of the campaigns was Do the Do! That was for Mountain Dew. You know, you do the Mountain Dew. It's not a dance. Sounds like a dance. You know, like doing the Macarena or do the hustle. But in this case, it's neither. Pink. Oh, ba-dum, ba-dum, boom, ba-dum, 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 boom. So those cactus guys are in Super Mario 3 and other later Super Mario games, despite the fact that they originate in this game. Just like the Shy Guy. The Shy Guys originate in this game, but they come back again in, I believe, Yoshi games. I'm not sure there's any... I know there's later on in some of the other Mario games, like Mario 64 is a great example. They have Shy Guys with propellers, you know, so they exist in that universe, but like... And they exist, of course, very, very, very obviously they exist in any of the spin-off series. So like, I would say like a Yoshi Island. They're all over the place in that. They're in Paper Mario. They're in, you know, are they in RPG? I don't remember. I think they are. Oh no! I'm going to die now. Thank you very much for playing my game. Oh. As a Courage the Cowardly Dog sound, by the way. Oh. That's a show that when I originally watched it, when it was on, you know, like live, like they were making new episodes, I was not a fan of. But it kind of grew on me in syndication. It's kind of weird. I was not really a big fan of Johnny Bravo either, because Johnny Bravo kind of had that same, and I've complained about this before in other media, about other media, but in the 90s, it was very, very popular for your main characters to get fucked at the end. I'm not gonna say, I don't know who started it. I know my reference point is it was Ren and Stimpy. Ren and Stimpy spawned this sort of like, okay, this is your hero, but they're never gonna win, because guess what? In reality, you're never gonna win in life. You're just gonna get kind of fucked. Every day that you exist, you're just gonna kind of get a little more fucked. I get it. You know, you're gonna be super negative, super upset about the fact that the world isn't perfect. Great. I understand. World's not perfect. I get it. So yeah, of course, if you feel that your main character is always gonna get fucked because you always get fucked, I get it. Okay, I get it. I've been there. I understand. You understand the thought. But it just, and I understand it goes against the traditional way stories are told. You want the hero story. If you're not hearing a hero story, you want to hear a tragedy, where ultimately the main character dies or gets fucked or something. But a lot of the problem with the reason they fail, it doesn't have to do with the fact that, you know, well, sometimes it's because, you know, the world just wants to fuck you. That's definitely a version of tragedy. But what I'm sort of trying to get at is, in Morocco, these are all Nickelodeon, quote unquote Nickelodeon well, they are Nickelodeon cartoons that I watch. They all, when I was growing up, and I was at that age when I was watching, you know, hey, these are the cartoons that are on Nickelodeon for me. They weren't fucking SpongeBob where everything sort of ends up great, and you know, obviously Squidward gets fucked in the end because he deserves it. You know, because he's a miserable fuck. Toasted. I love the voice acting in this game. It's so terrible. But here's the cartoons on Nickelodeon that I grew up, because no, Cartoon Network didn't start till '96. And the only other cartoons I really had were in reruns, either Looney Tunes or Hanna-Barbera cartoons. Here's my cartoons, okay? Ren and Stimpy. End of every Ren and Stimpy episode, the characters generally get fucked. They get fucked, and not a good fucked, like a bad fuck, like like, the world explodes or they end up in hell or something. Okay, other cartoons that didn't necessarily follow that nearly as hard, but had that same general vicinity was Rocco's Modern Life. Rocco never won. There were very few episodes where you felt at the end of the episode you felt calm, you felt happy with where the characters that you were watching and rooting for ended up, their day ended up. Okay. So great. So you had Ren Stimpy, you had Rocco's Modern Life. All Real Monsters was the same thing. They always got fucked at the end of the episode. The tension. Stuff didn't quite... I mean, even when they won, they lost. Angry Beavers, that came later. Angry Beavers, everybody always lost. Anyways.